Which one is best? Which one is worst? Which one is last? Which one is first? You can have your opinions, but we say what?
Hey, witches, it's your girls, Priscilla and Jackie here at We Say What, where we say what and you deal with it. Today we have a very special guest. She's a mother, she's a content creator, she's an author, she's an Aries, she's a speaker, she's a host, she's the OG of IG moms, Tara Clark.
Thank you.
Protector, romancer, dynamite dancer.
Oh my God, I love you. I thought you were going to say a hoe at one point because she was like, she's a host. And I was like, and a hoe.
Yes,
Straight
it is
up.
a podcaster in her own right. She's this Tara Clark of Modern Mom Probs.
Hello.
Thank you. What are you doing here slumming it with us?
Stop it. You guys are like my favorite people. Shut up.
No, I know. I know.
Go on.
What else?
You're like literally two of my favorite people on the planet. So like, duh, obviously.
I mean, obviously.
We're so lucky to have you, and I didn't know you were an Aries, but that's lovely to hear, and I recommend highly that you listen to the upcoming, or once this is released, previous episode about the zodiac signs that you'd want to have near you in an apocalypse, because
Oh, it would be me.
Aries
I'm your
pretty
girl.
well. Just spoiler, you know.
We're not going to say.
Yeah, we're not going to
If you haven't listened, go back. But you may or may not have fared okay in the apocalypse.
Well, I don't know. But can I actually tell you guys something? This is like a totally true story. I was a huge fan of The Walking Dead when it came out, right? Yeah. And for years, while we were watching that on Sunday nights, because it always premiered live on Sunday nights, I would, after the show ended, I would fall asleep thinking about what I would do in the zombie apocalypse. And I often, even now, go back to, that's how I like would soothe myself to get to sleep. You're like, no, I'm totally serious.
You're built different.
I am. We talk about this a lot.
Yeah.
And so I fall asleep in the soothing way to what would I do in the zombie apocalypse. And even still now, I think about that. That's like my go-to thought pattern.
I always say I would take care of like the aesthetics.
Okay. Yeah.
And like
that would
vibes.
Be good. Yeah.
I'm a little bit of a prepper as of late, but that might be more to do with anxiety than the Aquarius in me. But I do like this sleep strategy. I've been doing another one that I heard recently where you take a random word that means nothing to you, like melon, and then you just lie there and you think of all the words that start with the letter M that you can. And then when you run out, you go to E. And then when you're out, you go to L. By the time you get to like O, you'll be out. It's wild.
Like
it's been very helpful for my brain in these hour times.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's super important. I've been so keyed up. I don't even know if I sleep anymore. I don't know. What is sleep? So then I think about the apocalypse and then it'll help me.
Well, we're not talking about the apocalypse today because we
not.
have you here, and you are the host of Modern Mom Probs. So yeah, I cannot talk in the mornings. I don't know why we record in the morning because my tongue is like still sleeping. It's still working on waking itself up. But I also just realized we didn't share our latest review that we received.
Oh, let's hear it.
Let me share it. This one is from Chelsea, actually, who recorded the apocalypse episode with us, and she just said, "We say 5 stars. Love these hilarious ladies," and
Love them.
so sweet.
Love you guys.
We love you, and we love Chelsea. I know, so sweet. But anybody listening, if you want to leave us a review, goodness gracious, would we love it?
Okay, well, since we have a legend in the motherhood space and the parenting space with us today, we thought what better topic to discuss and winner to crown than worst fictional parents.
Yes. Oh, I'm so here for this.
Yes. So we put together 16 of the worst, and we're going to battle it out and see who's the worst of those 16. So are we ready?
Let's do it.
Can I make one serious point that you and I had kind of discussed yesterday, and I just want to make it very clear. When you listen to this list, you may notice there is a lack of diversity, and we are aware of that lack of diversity, and there are reasons for that. And one of the reasons is that there are so many shows about white people just in the space. I mean, that's just most of the shows are made that way, and that's not good. We don't want it to be that way, but that is how it is. And another thing that is the reason for that is a great thread that I read by Kim Creighton 1 this week. And find her, I'll try to post it in our stories when this episode comes out. But she made a great thread talking directly to white women saying, you're finally realizing with all that's going on in the world that people of color have not been able to parent in the way that you promote as the best way, like a soft parent.
I saw that thread. That was a good one.
So good. Because you haven't experienced the world in the same way that we have. And so we do not pretend to know what that experience is like. And so that is why you will notice that. That is intentional to a point. And, you know, feel free to comment on how we messed up on that if you want to. But
Yeah, we I think 9 times out of 10 at this point we've issued an apology. So, you know, we are ready to make amends before we begin.
right.
That is worth saying, though, Jackie. Thank you for saying that.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
Okay, so the first 2 sets of worst parents are the Wormwoods from Matilda.
You know what's funny? I have a sort of a sixth sense, and in my head, I was like, "She's going to pull up the Matilda parents right now."
Oh,
I knew that, like right from jump.
and I use a random picker.
That's weird.
Wow.
It was just right off the top of my head. Yeah.
And Doris and Boris Davis of Caillou.
Oh.
Yeah, so if anyone's unfamiliar, Matilda, the beloved book by Roald Dahl, her parents are selfish, more concerned with money and material things than Matilda, and they just treat her brother, obviously, much, much better than her, and in the end, they give her to her teacher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Caillou's parents, I think I've stayed away from Caillou. It looks sweet on the surface, but the parents indulge terrible behavior and set no boundaries with him. So I don't think they're setting him up for any success. Jackie, are you a Caillou parent?
I'm not, never have been. I did watch a little episode yesterday just so I could be ready for today. And by an episode, I mean I watched the first 3 minutes of an episode. And what I noticed was Caillou fell off of a seesaw and his mom rushed in and said, "You're okay," which is one of my little bugaboos about parenting is when a parent will tell a child how they feel without letting them have their own feelings. And I know that that's, you know, another thing that we didn't bring up is like the way that you parent currently, we're not judging. And the way that anybody parents is like their first language because you normally just learn it from your parents before you and you're doing what your parents taught you or what they modeled for you. And so you're learning. We're all learning all the time. But that's one of my things. So that like triggered me right away. Also, the voices on that show kind of drove me a little bananas. Also, when I was little, I thought I was Matilda. And this is my copy of Matilda. And I had the measles when when Roald Dahl was in town. I lived in London at the time. And so I couldn't go get an autograph. But my mom, being a great mom, went and got my signed copy of Matilda. So
Are you freaking kidding me?
That's amazing.
So I just thought I was Matilda because I thought I could make things move with my mind. And I think everybody thought that as a
Everybody
child.
tried.
Yeah.
Everybody tried. Yeah.
I am so impressed by all of that. I didn't read Matilda until I became a parent because I read it for my son. And when we read it, I was like, this is amazing. How was I sleeping on this during my childhood? But I guess I was more into Judy Blume at the time. But Matilda was a fantastic book, great movie. And if I had to pick between those, are we picking yet or we're still talking about?
Yeah, go for it.
I would definitely say Matilda's parents are worse because at least with Caillou, for as annoying as he is, he has attentive parents. His mom still came and rushed over. And although we may not have agreed with the, "You're okay, brush yourself off, Caillou," she still cared enough to run over and check on him. Whereas with Matilda's parents, I don't think that necessarily would have been the case.
Yeah, Matilda's parents are horrid. I mean, that's the whole premise. The book is about Matilda, but it's also about just how horrible her parents are. And that, you know, the dad's a used car salesman and is never home, always focused on money and like scamming people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a hustler.
Yeah. The mom, I think, is nicer. Like she's like friendlier on the surface. I don't know how she is in the movie. I haven't seen the movie, to be honest.
She's extremely just dismissive and disappointed in Matilda. I think she thinks she's frumpy and nerdy, and shouldn't she be more concerned with how she looks? And nobody's on board with the reading, and I think she just thinks her daughter's a loser.
Okay, well, that's horrible. So
I mean,
let's move this Wormwoods forward.
Yeah, Wormwoods are moving forward. Okay, two very different candidates in the next bracket. Tobias and Lindsay Funke from Arrested Development.
I was not expecting that one.
Yes.
Okay.
Who are so focused on their marital issues and personal lives that they often forget they have a daughter.
Yeah.
And Walter White from Breaking Bad, who begins the journey in the show, with in a time of desperation trying to provide for his family, but his dark undertakings become the priority, and his need for I guess power or to win whatever battle he's in does, in my opinion, outweigh his desire to provide for his family, because he made the money well early on and just keeps going.
It's so okay. I did watch Breaking Bad. He gets enough money to pay for his cancer treatments early on, right? And then that's what you're saying. And then he continues.
His diagnosis is terminal.
It's terminal. Okay.
So he wants to leave behind, take care of his family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
the terminalness is why he's so brazen. He's, in a sense, got nothing to lose. The clock is ticking for him. But there's at one point he has an entire closet full of cash, which also provides tons of problems for his family. What can you do, ultimately, with millions of dollars just in cash?
More money, more problems is the same.
More money, more problems, but more cash, more problems. And then he just drags his family into this dark world. And so they have no choice but to try and survive because of his crazy decisions.
What do you think, Tara?
I'm laughing for so many reasons. One, because I think Tobias is one of my favorite characters on television ever, in the history of television. So I love them. So I'm not going to say them because I like Tobias too much. But with Walter White, full disclosure, I did not watch the entire series. I only watched the first season, and I know more or less what happens. So I agree with you on that one, Priscilla. And the other reason why I'm kind of laughing is that Walter White looked exactly like my dad.
Oh,
and
weird.
So when people, to the point where I think at one point, my dad had a side-by-side picture of Walter White and my dad, who also had a terminal illness. So here we are. So that's why I was laughing. Yeah. Again, funny, not funny. Yeah. But when you're part of the Dead Dad Club, you could say things like that, I suppose.
Yes.
So yeah, I would definitely go with Walter White because he didn't stop when he could have stopped. He made the conscious effort to continue to deal drugs and commit crime and stuff like that. Whereas the Funkes, they were neglectful, but I don't think they were really physically hurting anyone or physically putting anyone in danger.
Well, no, just emotionally.
Just emotionally.
Well, it's
that's a hard call. Yeah.
Maybe's problems could be, maybe it's the child of the Funkes.
The child,
Her problem could be solved with therapy.
Yeah.
Whereas Walter White's children, I don't remember how many kids he had.
Just one.
There's jail, there's money, there's huge problems that
you
they
could get murdered,
facing.
you don't know.
Exactly.
I'm a New Jersey girl from, I'm an Italian girl from New Jersey. You get killed doing that kind of stuff, Yeah. So I would choose Walter White to move forward on this one. Okay. I think he is worse than the Funkes.
Yes. Do you agree, Jackie, or are you?
I agree. Yeah.
Funkes. Okay. Okay. Moving on.
Poor Maybe.
Yeah, but she becomes a film exec.
Yeah,
and
she's got her career.
She was resilient.
She was very resilient.
That was going on in that family, she was resilient.
Yeah, but doesn't she end up with her cousin anyway? June George from Mean Girls, Regina George's mother,
Oh, yeah. She's a cool mom.
versus, right, she's a cool mom, versus Tony Soprano.
I love that they're two wildly different things, although I could see Tony sleeping with Mrs. George.
June George.
Wow.
Ooh, I could see
I
that
could
too.
totally see her as a side piece for him.
Yeah.
Well, June George, I kind of feel like is almost a victim of her daughter more than anything.
But is it sort of like, is Regina the way she is because of June? We need a prequel to tell us how Regina got that way.
Maybe she walked in on her mother with Tony Soprano and she has major leverage. That's got to be it.
That's it. I mean, maybe that's why Regina's such an absolute monster. You know?
Let's just pause. Have any of you walked in on your parents, as my mom called it when I walked in on her, boinking?
My parents were divorced when I was 2, so no. I never even saw them in the same room until they got.
My parents had sex 3 times,
Right. Just
all
to make the children.
resulting in my siblings and I. So no.
My mom was not banging my dad. It was another dude, one of her many boyfriends. Dwayne, I believe it was who it was.
Of course, it's Dwayne.
But
Of course, you walked in on your mom with Dwayne.
with Dwayne, and I ran upstairs, and I had my own phone line because it was the 90s, and she called me upstairs, and she was like, Jacqueline, something about boinking, and I was like, Mom, if you ever say the word boinking again, I'm going to die. Like, that was
How
the end of
old
that.
were you?
Maybe 12, 13.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
Did you like
So
see?
sorry.
Did you see some like National Geographic shit, or was it like, oh, I know what's going on, I'm leaving?
It was missionary. There was a lot of butt.
There was
man
some.
butt,
You
man
saw
butt
some
in
butt.
the air.
Okay.
So that's what I saw.
So sorry you had to see that.
This is why we need to monetize this so we can heal
Yeah.
Right.
from.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Need more
Jackie can
therapy.
heal from the boinking
Yeah.
that she witnessed.
And the word, hearing the word of
And
that,
the-
like
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it's too much.
Like mom, really, any other word. But okay, so we understand why Regina is how she is because she walked in on her mom boinking. Tony
There's no
Soprano,
other-
obviously.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I have a soft spot for the cool. I mean, yes, it's not good parenting. I mean, we can agree it's not good parenting because she just lets her get away with anything. I'm sure this is you can drink under my roof, which my mom also let me do, that sort of thing. But was that a thing in the movie? Were they allowed to have drinks?
She brings her in what looks like a margarita, and she's like,
Okay.
"Is there alcohol in this?" And she goes, "No. Why? Do you want some?"
Yeah, that's what I thought. I remembered.
I love that you know the movie so well
Yeah.
that you knew that line.
I mean, although I do see, when people explain why they let their kids drink at home, I do understand the reasoning behind it. I'm not shaming anyone for that. But Tony Soprano was a mob person, yes? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I feel like that's not great.
Yeah, and that ultimately he was working on himself, which many men, especially in the
He was
90s.
therapy, that is absolutely true. It's sort of similar to the concept of Walter White, right? Like,
Yes.
you've made your money. When do you stop? He's the boss. Like, when do you say, like, okay, enough's enough? Also, family's very important to
True.
Italian Americans, and he would have done anything to protect his kids. And so
But it's hard to live both of those truths because you're
Yeah.
100% around the clock putting them in danger,
yes, yeah, that's what's really tricky about it.
whether you leave or not.
Yes.
So
And
it's kind of
because
like a snake eating its tail.
yes, I think Tony Soprano was worse than Mrs. George because I feel like we don't have enough of a backstory on her to really be like,
True.
this woman's a monster. I see her as like, she was Regina when she was in high school, and now she's older and she still wants to be cool. And it's like, there's something sympathetic in that character.
Yeah.
A little bit too, as a 45-year-old woman myself. Like, I get that. Like, you
Yeah.
know? And so, I don't know. I feel a little bad for her. Not that she's a good parent. She's not. But I'm just saying she is a little bit more sympathetic.
But she's at least enthusiastic about her daughter.
yeah, she takes
You
an
know,
interest in her. Unlike
this-
Matilda's parents, she takes an interest in what Regina's doing.
Yeah. I think Tony moves forward because of the constant danger.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, well, I think that's our last major criminal.
Okay.
But, I mean, we'll see. Moving on to the next bracket. Peter and Lois Griffin versus King Adnar and Queen, I believe it's Iduna from Frozen.
Oh. They're dead, right? We could.
They do die,
Okay.
but not before scaring their children
Oh, yes.
into
Yes,
like
I
a
follow.
repressive state of isolation.
Yeah, I follow. Okay, so lately, in the last probably 6 months or so, my son had been in a huge Family Guy kick. So we, in the last year, have watched every episode of Family Guy. So it's very top of
You're an
mind for
expert.
me. I am an expert. I have not watched Frozen in a long time, but I remember that. Obviously, they're monsters.
I mean, they do it out of, it's like one of those ones where it's like, what do we do? Okay, we'll do this kind of thing
Yeah.
without thinking about like what is best for everyone long term. Peter and Lois, and you can obviously weigh in on this, Tara.
Yeah.
That show is so chaotic that I feel like you can't really nail them down into any one thing. But in general, their kids are not a priority. They hate Meg.
Right.
They hate Meg. I mean,
They
that's
hate
the
Meg.
running joke is that they literally hate Meg.
They hate
And I think
Meg.
I think that's very funny. Lois, it depends on the episode because again, there's several hundred episodes, but Lois wants the family to have more quality time together. So she'll say, "Hey guys, let's go to the beach. Let's go on vacation." Like she wants to do things together depending on the episode. Peter, like, it's funny, like Peter, it's not like that he's like a bad dad per se. He's so dumb that he just gets into trouble doing dumb things, but not out of maliciousness, just out of his own stupidity.
But like no one's ever watching Stewie to the point where he
No, Brian
is like,
Brian the dog is. No.
oh, okay.
Oh, never mind. It's fine then.
No, Brian can wait. This is
Are your cats watching your son right now?
So Brian is their walking, talking, car driving dog, and he drives a Prius, and
Very responsible.
very responsible. 9 times out of 10, Brian is actually taking care of Stewie. He drives him to school sometimes. He takes him places. They do things together.
This is all building a case against Lois and Peter.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Okay, and here's another
All
point.
right. Yeah.
Are the girls from Frozen? Do they have caretakers? I've forgotten. Or are they just like living in a castle by themselves?
No, they have servants.
Okay, so the parents didn't like set them up in a will with some sort of adult supervision for the rest of their lives. I guess the the servants count, but
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
And they definitely guided them to like not have a relationship.
Yes.
I personally, of the two, I think they were trying their best. There was a big risk that they didn't understand, like what it would mean to let their kingdom know their, they had pretty big responsibilities.
Yeah.
I'm moving Peter and Lois forward. Their son, doesn't he like create weapons of mass destruction and nobody notices? And I think it's cute. Are we in agreement on the Griffins?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that
Okay.
works.
R.I.P. King and Queen,
I know.
people, King Adnar and Queen Iduna. You did your best.
But-
Okay, moving on. I think this is a difficult one.
Okay.
Logan Roy and Caroline Collingwood of Succession versus Peter and Kate McAllister.
I've never seen Succession, so I can't speak to that.
Okay, I'm just going to close you out of the show.
Well,
Just disconnect you.
I'm lucky because I accidentally said that a couple episodes ago, and now I'm on season 2 because Priscilla was about to do something. Like she was about to call
cut
The
you off as a
Sopranos.
friend.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Tara, you're next. So I'll notice.
Yeah. So I don't know if I have a full picture, but based on what I know from 10 episodes,
Have you met her yet?
she
The
was
mother?
at the wedding. Yes, at Shiv's wedding. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Funny, Very funny.
Funny, so disinterested,
Yeah.
so disinterested in her children.
Right.
I mean, we know that they are based on like the Trump family
And the
and
Murdochs, right? Isn't
the
that?
Murdochs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like just a toxic billionaire, right wing
Oh, okay.
media family.
Yeah.
So in some ways, you see those families. At least when I was younger, I would see those families and be like, "Oh my gosh, they must know everything. They must be so smart and all this stuff." But the parents have not set these kids up to succeed. Shiv, maybe she kind of does her own thing. Um, but it's like Logan Roy has created all this success, but not given them the tools to build something similar or navigate the empire that he's created. And he resents them for that. So he gives them this life and then hates it.
Well,
Yeah.
and the emotional detachment that all of the children display, like none of them care about a single other human on the planet. Not even not
Yeah.
their spouses, not their coworkers, not their siblings, not their parents. Like everybody has had to fend for themselves basically. They have all the money that they want, all the financial support that they want, but there's been no emotional support of any kind.
Yeah.
And that is very like I'm watching the show like, are these robots? And
Yeah.
I you know?
Even their own children.
Yeah.
Kendall is a dad when it's convenient for him, and when he uses it as an emotional like ransom in arguments and negotiations. And how dare you talk about my children? It's like, well, are you seeing them? You know, like they're pawns for him in some ways. And Caroline, the mother, she's not in the show much, and that is part of her character, her absence. She's very disinterested in their lives in general and always just looking out for number one, but she has sacrificed so much. And so there's like this, I don't know,
Well,
both of their,
martyrdom.
I haven't watched the show, and I'm already going to put them forward because the thing with Kevin was like, that was a really. Can I swear? Can I say
Yes,
the S word?
please.
That was a really shitty event, but I don't know
Events?
two events.
Several events.
Two events, but it's not a lifetime of neglect and emotional abuse. I don't think. So I would put Succession forward.
But if you remember the way that
They speak to him at
the way they speak to him,
Yeah,
like
it's
on
bad.
the way of, look what you did, and everybody hate. Oh, you want your family to disappear? Say it again, so maybe we will disappear. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the way she talks to him is not great.
definitely is not.
they're such a quintessential grumpy 90s family. It just, you know what I mean? I don't know. Just kind of disconnected. I feel like I don't know. I just see a lot of familiarity with them. It's just like, and how many children were under their roof?
5,000.
5,000 children to
Million.
take care of.
It's
And
a lot. Is it like
they counted heads. They said to the oldest to
it
count
was
heads.
the oldest one. It was her responsibility to
She
count
did
heads.
not
She
count
screwed up.
faces.
Yeah, that was firmly on her. And they were excited to see Kevin when they came back. It's not like they were disinterested and they were like, "Oh yeah, sorry." They were like hugging him and kissing him and stuff like that.
And doing whatever they could to get back to him.
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about this when we did best or worst holiday movie.
Mhm.
Justice for Kate McAllister. She called the police. They completely ignored her and called her crazy because all they did was like look in a window and knock on a door, and the scared child did not answer.
It's the element of danger again is not as present. Although, I mean, yes, there were robbers trying to break into the house, but those were not put in place by the parents. They had done what they could do or what they thought was necessary to make their house safe, and they thought that their child was with them. So
Yeah.
they weren't intentionally creating danger.
No. And I think what makes it so familiar to me is like my brother was like a Kevin McAllister. He was just like naughty, really naughty. He swung from our chandelier, and at one point he broke his leg, and my mom was like, okay, maybe I'll be able to like keep tabs on this kid for the summer. He was running on it in 2 days. He like it just at one point they tried a leash because they were like, what, how can I keep this child in my purview? So, yeah, I think despite all the money and success that are in the reach of these kids in the Roy family, they are much worse off than the McAllister.
It makes sense too, because also the McAllisters had money. I mean, they didn't have billions like in Succession, but they clearly lived in a
They were
nice
doing
house
well.
in a nice neighborhood and stuff like that too. And they seemed, aside from Buzz, because he's a total jerk, but the other ones, the other siblings seemed, pretty nice towards Kevin. I
Great
don't know.
point. Buzz with the gun in his room and the pornography and the fireworks and the tarantula. Like, I don't know what parents are letting their kids. I don't know. We have a bearded dragon, so who am I?
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Maybe everyone knows this. I don't know. But when Kevin finds the picture of Buzz's girlfriend
Yeah.
and he goes, Buzz's girlfriend, Wolf. That is a picture of a boy in a wig because the director didn't want to make fun of an actual young woman.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
That was
Because
nice.
That was a
I've
good
always
move.
been upset when I saw that part. So
Yeah.
I'm really glad to know that, actually.
Oh, good. Good.
That is good to know.
Yeah.
Good job, John Hughes.
Yes. Well
Good job. Okay. So justice for the McAllisters. Moving on. And I think you guys knew this one was coming too. Donner and Mrs. Donner from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Because we'd spoken about this last time we were together.
On the movie one.
Yes.
And King Stefan and Queen Leah from Sleeping Beauty. Now, Sleeping Beauty, I'll give a little backstory here. Like, why would this one make the list? They didn't invite Maleficent to the, I don't know, was it a christening or
Like a welcome party.
a welcome celebration of the girl?
Yeah.
They knew she was going to be salty about that.
Yeah.
They didn't handle it. They let her near the kid, and then they exile her and don't check on her for 16 years to protect her. She doesn't even know who she is.
We watched a lot of really screwed up movies when we were little.
Yeah.
Our parents should be on this list for letting us watch this content.
Now, Donner, and first of all, I'm pissed that her name is Mrs. Donner. Like, you took his first name? Like,
No, maybe they're just the Donner family and his first name is Roy. You don't know. It could be like how people go by their last name.
yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
But they have a child with a difference and they're ashamed of it. They're mad about it. They make it his problem. They do not empower him in any way, which is worse.
This one was hard. I don't know.
Well-
Some of the other ones are slam dunks, and this one is a little bit more challenging.
Well, and like Donner becomes happy about it when it
It's
like
convenient for him.
serves him and makes him look good. Now, Mrs. Donner's kind of a badass. She's like, fuck you. I'm going out to find my kid. She's kind of under the shadow, and I think it's a sign of the times.
Yeah.
The husband's the head of the household. She's definitely softer.
And then the thing with the Sleeping Beauty parents, it's like they made one bad decision there. At the birth. I don't know. Do we know that they don't check on her for 16 years?
Does she know who she is?
Oh, yeah, but isn't she sleeping?
No, she lives with the fairies in the forest till her 16th birthday.
Oh,
And then, like, Maleficent finds her and she pricks her finger. She's like, this child will prick her finger on her 16th birthday and fall into a deep sleep and never wake up. So they send her
yes.
away to keep her
Okay.
from
Oh, okay.
pricking her finger. Why couldn't you enjoy those 16 years and figure something else out?
I forgot about
You know
that.
the
You're
day.
right.
Yeah.
She's not like, you could have had 16 great years and, like, negotiated with Maleficent or made some
Her whole
goodwill.
childhood.
Like,
That's her
oh no,
whole
someone
freaking
said
childhood.
something's going to happen in 16 years. Like, kill her.
Yeah. You've got 16 years to devise a plan.
You got 16 years, you've got fairies around. Like, let's put our heads together.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Let's put our heads together on this Maleficent bullshit. We need like a committee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put a committee together.
Yeah.
God
They're the
try.
king and queen. They're not like
Yeah,
Nobody's.
same thing back in Rivendell. Like, come on, get the
Get
the
a
best
committee.
heads in your culture, in your country together to figure out a solution for this. Well, we're just gonna lock our kids in a room for 16 years?
Get
No.
some crisis PR on the horn.
Yeah. You guys don't have wizards and witches and shit?
They have
Come on.
trolls. They have trolls.
They do.
They have trolls. Well, we can't
Now
relitigate.
I'm getting mad. Now I'm getting mad about that.
So much time lost.
I think it's pretty obvious, actually, now after this discussion, where we fall on this, though. I mean,
For me, it's
Yeah.
Stefan and Leah.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a real bummer. Again, Rudolph should have been celebrated and encouraged to embrace his gifts.
Yeah.
But, you know, being trapped in a space for 16 years is just way too long. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, she's gonna have an identity crisis. She's like, and then she's gonna realize, what were you like? Sorry, I'm just.
Yeah.
What is she? She's. If that were me, and I learned, you guys, I could have been a princess. I'm living in this shack, picking berries when I could have been like getting pedicures and traveling.
Yeah.
And doing
Yeah.
literally anything. Literally
Plus-
anything.
Yeah. Plus Rudolph, he's got, speaking of bargaining chip, for the rest of his life. Like,
Yeah.
first of all, he's a badass now.
Yeah.
He'll still need some therapy. There'll definitely be some things to work out, but like, now
But
he's
that-
his dad's boss.
But this builds resilience. That's another thing. Like, he's going to grow stronger because of it.
Yeah.
Sleeping Beauty, so she does get pricked eventually, and then she falls asleep, she gets kissed, she wakes up. That's how it works. And so did they know that the kiss was going to wake her up or no?
Probably. Because
It
it's a
just
Disney
seems-
Movie.
It seems pretty stupid. Like, it
Plus,
just
why
seems
would she
so
give an out?
stupid. Why would
Yeah.
they lock her away for 16 years? Like, they didn't say on her 14th birthday and 3 days, like, she's going to... It just doesn't make sense to me.
All
It
right.
doesn't make sense.
All right.
Sorry.
Put them through.
Yeah.
All right. Stefan and Leah are through. Okay, we're getting close. We have two more.
Okay.
Next, the Dursleys of Harry Potter.
Oh, I hate them.
Yes. Versus Nick Parker and Elizabeth James from The Parent Trap.
Okay, so the Dursleys are technically not Harry Potter's parents.
Right. So,
Guardians.
but
Guardian.
they're not raising. They're
their
not getting
child.
any marks for their parenting either. And I was reading up on like some of the theories, like why are these people bad parents? And someone on Reddit was talking about how their son on his birthday, and he's like, there's only 26 presents. Last year I got 27. They were like, he's not pissed that he got one less gift. He's worried that they love him less.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's some lady's theory, but I think that he's a huge brat.
But that's one of those things where it's another parenting thing that I used to talk about all the time when I was making all those TikToks was, you know, if your child comes to you and expects you to always be the one to say, good job, good job, good job, when you don't say good job anymore, they're like, am I doing a bad job? Or if you call your child good boy or good girl, and then you don't say good, you know, be a good boy and run upstairs or whatever, they're like, am I a bad boy? And then they start to internalize it. If you start to measure your worth via how many gifts you've gotten, that makes sense to me. And then I haven't watched a lot of Harry Potter. I've seen some of it, but I rewatched the beginning of it just to refresh my memory yesterday. And right after that, they say, oh, we'll go out to the store and buy you 2 more things after that. So it's like, not only is he then paranoid that they love him less, but then they're reinforcing that like bratty behavior.
Nick and Elizabeth, like similar to King Stefan and Leah, like what the fuck are you guys doing?
It's so
You're
stupid.
splitting children. You're splitting up your kids.
I could have had a sister this whole time, the whole time.
I could have known my dad.
Yeah.
Like as a mother, we all have only one kid.
Yes. Yeah.
But could you ever think like, I'll just send one away?
I could in an alternate universe, not my actual life, but I could almost have seen my parents doing something like that. I am an only child with an only child, and my parents were divorced when I was 2. I if I had a twin sister named Sarah, I could see Sarah going off, and then like I could see a world where that would happen.
Interesting.
Not-
But
not
where
in a
they would
good way.
live, you would live separate lives, or one would live with mom, one would live with dad, and then you'd swap.
No, one would live with a mom. Like mom gets Tara, and dad gets Sarah.
And never the two shall meet?
Yeah, like I could see a world in where, like in my very twisted world, I could see how that could happen.
We always unpack something extraordinary with you, Tara.
Yeah.
And it's like, we gotta have your mom on
Oh my god.
and be like, would you do that?
Wait, have you guys heard of the Jim twins? I just read about this for one of my psychology classes. They did a study on twins that were separated at birth, and reunited at like age 45 or something like that, and never knew that they had a twin until they were adults. And there was one pair of twins, and they called them the Jim twins because they both were named Jim by their parents. They both married a woman named Betty, I believe. They both were deputy sheriffs. They both drove the same car. They both had a dog named Toy, and they both named their only child, or maybe their first child, James Allen, although they spelled Allen differently.
Then
It's different. Throw it all out.
Throw the whole thing away. That's
that bizarre?
wild. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wild.
So the connection between twins is so strong, the nature connection. I mean, there's so much to be said for nature versus nurture and what is impactful in a child's life. But just the act of splitting twins up for that reason breaks my heart, because they should be allowed to have their little freaky mind tricks that they do with each other,
The little
secret
language that they do.
should be allowed to plot.
Exactly. We need more twin plotting. I think that could solve some crises.
My second grade teacher had quadruplets in 1988, which was like so, it was like newsworthy back then.
Remember
Mrs. Lummer.
Octomom?
You
Yes.
remember?
That's
Remember
crazy.
when that was the biggest
Wild.
news? Octomom, remember?
Yeah. I
miss
it. Was
it.
like a news for 3 months or
Take
something.
me back. Take me
back to the Octomom
back.
days.
Exactly.
All right, but
You
which
should
is
tweet
worse?
that.
Yeah.
What?
I said you should tweet that, Priscilla.
Bring back the Octomom
Yeah.
days.
I'm going to go the Parent Trap parents, because
Parent trap parents for sure.
yeah, that's been something that I've been upset about my whole life. So Tara, do you agree? Are you
Yeah, I could go with them.
Hey, last one of round one. Ross Geller versus Al and Peggy Bundy.
I grew up watching Married with Children. So much so I was sort of like I would get in trouble for watching that, but because
I don't think I was allowed either.
So they were so bad, but I watched it anyway. I don't know. Is Ross really that bad of a guy?
Here's the thing. That's how they get you. Everyone
how they
thinks
get ya.
Ross is the nice guy, the smart guy, the science guy, the like meek,
Yeah.
He's got 2 kids with 2 different women who he has no contact with virtually. I mean, he has Ben, who you see a couple of times.
Yeah, that's Ben's the one I'm thinking
Yeah,
of.
where's
then
Ben?
But then he has Emma. Then Ben disappears, after like season 4 or something. And then he has Emma with Rachel. There's a little bit of communication there. But again, Emma's just thrown in. And this is a problem for the producers of the show. Why did they not include more Emma content? It's not a baby show. That's why. But
Insurance reasons.
But like, he just disinterested. The babies are only there for tiny plot points. They left Ben on a bus. Oh no, that was Ross and Chandler left. Who did they leave on a bus? A baby. Was it Ben?
They left the baby on the bus, or did they
I don't
leave the
remember
monkey
that
somewhere?
episode.
We saw more of Ross's monkey
That's right.
That's
Then-
actually a really good point.
than Ben.
It's a great
Good point.
Okay, wait a minute.
And who's our other choice? Remind me.
Peg
Oh, the
and Al
Bundys.
Bundy.
The Bundys.
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah, it's Ben. Joey and Chandler.
Leave Ben on the bus?
Monica takes Ross to the hospital, and they leave Ben in the care of Joey and Chandler, who are imbeciles, obviously, and not capable of caring for a child, who then leave the child on a city bus, and then the child is lost.
You know what's funny? For me, I watched some Friends. I probably watched more Married with Children than I did Friends.
I've definitely seen more Friends than Married with Children. Again, I wasn't really allowed to either. They just all kind of, my impression of Married with Children is that they all just like kind of had bad attitudes.
They were all sort of just like doing their own thing. Kelly was, and I'm using this in quotes, like I'm not calling her this because there's no slut shaming here, but like she was the slut. Like that's how they wrote her character. She was out with a different guy every night. That was the sort of thing. Like she was sexy. Bud was the younger brother who he was always just trying to also get laid and be with girls and be cool. And that was like his biggest concern. they were teenagers, right? So they were like older,
Yeah.
doing their own things. Peg hated housework, and she was
She
a
was so
stay-at-home
horny.
mom, and she was. And Al could not be bothered. He had no interest in doing that with her.
Which is
This
crazy.
Well, it's also like this was before, I guess, perimenopause was talked about, which we
Yeah.
can see because I feel like the roles would probably be reversed in most households these days.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's true. He was just so beaten down by life. I'm saying Al, that I feel like he just had no libido, no interest in doing anything. He worked at a shoe store for 30 years.
If
he
it was
just like,
today, Al would definitely join ICE.
For sure.
oh, fucking yeah.
And you had mentioned in the notes, Priscilla, that he had the anti-feminist group, No Man.
Yeah, he founded an anti-feminist group. He
Yes.
peaked in high school and is like obsessed with like
That was
living the
it.
past.
Yes, he was like maybe like a football player in high school.
Yeah.
And then so he would talk
Okay.
about that. They had neighbors who were
Didn't they all-
progressive, and he
right.
hated the
Swingers or something.
neighbors.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hated the neighbors. Marcy and Jim and Marcy, maybe.
Yeah. So Ross or the Bundys? I think Ross. He's not around.
Okay,
He's so
We'll
focused on
we'll
his
say
love
Ross.
life.
Yeah, we'll say Ross because he's selfish.
Jackie?
I'll say Ross also, just because I'm mad. And I just need to point out, I loved Friends because I know you guys just said you weren't huge Friends watchers. For our Friends listeners, Friends was my show. Okay, so there is a person who sympathizes with you, listeners, with this.
No, it was good. It was good. I watched it live. I watched it live at the time, and then I just never, I never went back. Like, a show that I do go back to watch is like The Office. Like, I will
Okay.
rewatch
That's
The
a great
Office.
one.
Never rewatched Friends. That's all.
All right. So that rounds out round one. And we have our work cut out for us for the first bracket in round two,
Okay.
Okay.
which is the Wormwoods versus Walter White.
Whoa. So many W's.
Stop it. That is.
I was gonna say, Walter he's so much danger, but then the Wormwoods give their daughter
They just
away.
give her away. My
Yeah.
vote is Wormwoods.
I'm going to say Wormwoods on
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
They care so little about Matilda that
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, you could have her, Miss Honey. That's fine.
From the beginning to the jump. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Walter at least cares. There's care, there's good intention behind the initiation of his bad behavior. But eventually it just devolves into madness.
Yes.
Matt. Okay, so Wormwoods move forward. Tony Soprano versus Peter and Lois Griffin.
I don't know. I think that just seems similar to me. I don't know why.
Yeah. No, it is. It is. It's just,
For me, it's the Griffins.
Okay.
Stewie's on his Peter. They're always the kids are on their own. They hate
Yes.
Meg.
I didn't watch The Sopranos, so it's hard for me to weigh in on this. If it were just up to what I know about the show, I would say The Sopranos because I feel like that this is a scary situation to grow
Yeah.
up in. I would hate to grow up in that situation. It'd be terrifying for me.
Yeah.
But, you guys knowing this information, I will agree with you, and we'll move. Well, not that it matters because you both voted for the Griffins. Yeah.
This is not
That's
easy.
No, that's not an easy one for the very reason that you said, Jack, is that Tony Soprano put his family at risk every day.
Yeah.
And that is not necessarily something that the Griffins did. And,
True.
I'm torn. I'm torn about that one.
Yeah,
I'll
the
go with the
Griffins-
Griffins, but I am torn. Yeah. I
Should
don't
we
really-
say Tony Soprano?
for me personally, I would say Tony Soprano over the Griffins. I really would. That's just, I don't want to, throw you guys off, but
Yeah,
I'm just
no.
saying.
No, I think we're gonna move him forward.
Okay,
Jackie?
do it.
Yeah.
do
let's
it.
do Soprano. Tony.
Okay.
Tony.
Logan and Caroline from Succession, or King Stefan and Leah from Sleeping Beauty.
Wow.
My initial thought
Go ahead.
is that although they're ding-dongs, Stefan and Leah are trying to protect her, and they make some dumb decisions that could create a lot of damage through that.
Yeah.
Logan and Caroline create a life and withhold their love.
Yeah, it is shocking how little they care about their children. Like it is shocking.
And
But
how
also-
just disappointed, but it's like, dude.
And also, like, it's just the dynamics are so bizarre to watch. It's so hard to watch for me because it's like he hates you. He has so much control over you. It's all financially motivated, and that is not what a parent should be.
And
Power.
the way he rotates the favoritism,
Oh, that's so sick.
there's
Manipulative.
so
I
much.
freaking hate that.
There
I
is
really
so
hate
much.
that.
Yes, there's so much manipulation and promises made. He's just always playing chess.
I would say them. The other ones, Leah, they were trying to do what they thought was best for her. What was Sleeping Beauty's first name?
Is it
Aurora.
Aurora?
Aurora. That's what it was. Thank you. I knew it was something. Yeah, I would put them forward.
Okay, so Logan and Caroline move forward. Stefan and Leah, you guys should have known better because, you needed a committee.
Yeah.
Imagine Roy Logan in that situation, though. He would have handled that much better.
Absolutely.
He would have got the right people.
He would have
on
gotten the
job.
committee. He would have, you know what? Maleficent would have been too scared to even show up.
Yeah.
Well, so then is Roy Logan a better parent?
No, because he wouldn't have done it to protect his kids. He'd be like, it would have been
It would have
like,
been a
you
story.
don't do this to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last one. The Parent Trap parents or Ross Geller. This one's easy to me.
Yeah, parent trap
Is it?
parents, right?
Yeah, because
because they
at
split the
least
kids
Ross's
up.
kids know who his family is and
Yeah.
like
Yeah. I agree on that one.
It's basically just giving up one of your children when you don't have to. It's
Yes.
and I understand that if you have to because you need to because of reasons where you cannot raise them, but this is like you could just split custody, you could do it another way, and this was just a bonkers bizarre agreement.
yeah.
I agree with.
Okay. That was a pretty quick round 2.
Yeah.
Round 3. The Wormwoods versus Tony Soprano.
It's so weird.
No, that's tricky.
Not for me.
It's the Wormwoods.
I would give the Wormwoods
Yeah.
the trophy
I think I agree with
and
you.
just cancel this episode.
I agree with you. Tony really tried to do what's best for Meadow and Anthony and Carmela, and I would say Wormwoods, go ahead.
Okay,
You're
move the
worse.
Wormwoods ahead.
Okay. Easy peasy. Okay. Logan, Roy, and Caroline versus the Parent Trap parents.
I feel like that's a fair head-to-head. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
This one's tough.
I'm going to say that the Succession family is worse because although the Parent Trap parents kept the girls apart, they individually showed a lot of love and care and concern for each child that they had.
They tried to give that child a good life, and they
Yes.
did, from what I remember.
Yeah, they went to summer camp. In my mind,
Yeah.
anybody that's like rich enough to go to summer camp, like your parents care about you.
And have you planned for summer camp before? Have you started booking in February for something
That's
that's
what
going to
I'm
happen?
saying.
Actually,
Like, do
I
you
need to do
understand?
that.
Do you know, hand to God, true story? I thought that summer camp was something that was only made for television until I got older because no one I knew ever went to summer camp. And
Yeah.
I thought that it was made up. And I was like, people go to, like, that's real?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, no, that's real. I'm like,
We never did like a sleepaway. I don't know anyone who regularly did sleepaway growing up, but
no, it's a real thing.
Yeah,
It's
no.
just, I just didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like, and nobody I knew did anything like that. So
I was a camp counselor in college for
That's so cool.
for like 5 days. Well,
overnight?
yeah, overnight camp. But I went because my boyfriend at the time was also, he went there as a child. So he was like in with the people. And then he got caught smoking weed on one of his off nights and he got fired. And I was like, I'm not staying.
And you weren't there?
I wasn't there.
You were not involved?
Listen, I should have been because I would have been. You know, if I was off the same night, I'm sure I would have been part of it. But he got in trouble, and I hated every moment of it.
Yeah.
And they paid you like 16 cents an hour. It worked out to because
Yeah. No.
it was child labor basically. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a cool
sounds like
camp.
fun.
They had a blob in the water that you jumped on. Everyone loved that part. And
That's amazing. See, that's the kind of stuff I thought that they made up for television. I didn't know it's real.
yeah, I had
Camp
never experienced that before.
Anawana.
Yeah, that's what it was. I thought that they made it up for like Camp Ottawa. I loved Salute Your Shorts. Watched it all the time. I thought it was for that. But and Hey Dude, loved that.
Yeah.
One of my
Hey
True
favorites.
Beverly Hills.
So good.
We should have talked about True Beverly Hills. Maybe. Anyway,
We need
Yeah, we'll
another
figure
episode.
out a way to work that in. So which is worse, Logan and Caroline, or the Parent Trap
let's make
parents?
a choice.
Let's
Oh,
just say
I said
both
Succession
sets.
is worse. I said Succession is worse.
Okay, but both sets of parents we can assume sent their kids to camp.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
1,000%. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I think Succession as well. I think the psychological and physical damages are strong, high.
Yeah.
I think you guys are crazy. I think any parent that like sends a child away is the worst, but I'm outnumbered, so what are we doing?
I told you I could see in an alternate reality that could happen in my own life.
And I just need to walk around inside your brain for a little while about that.
I
Or your
also
mothers.
I also know there are some people who are not able, like they're not capable of taking care of a child, and they make the responsible choice to give up their
Yes.
child for adoption. So I realize that there are some people who do it for a responsible choice. So because that is a possibility, I can see it being them being like, we can't live together, we can't raise a child. The secrecy, yes, that's a problem. The not letting them meet, it's a problem. But
It's weird.
for purposes of like having enough resources to take care of those children,
Yes,
maybe. Yeah.
I should qualify what I said because I think you raised really interesting points. These people were not under those circumstances
correct.
where it was like necessary to make that decision. The Wormwoods were like, "You're annoying. Go live with your teacher." And Nick Parker and Elizabeth James were seemingly, responsible adults who were like, "Let's just make this our custody arrangement." So I know that there are situations of really difficult decisions that I don't know anything about. So these are fictional parents,
Yes.
and these are fictional circumstances. So yes, thank you for calling that out. Okay, final round. Logan and Caroline have moved forward, and they're in the final round against the Wormwoods. And you know how I'm voting. So you guys battle this out.
It's hard for me because I haven't watched Succession, right? So I'm going based upon an archetype that you have described, and I could imagine that archetype in my head. So I do
yes.
sort of get that.
Yeah.
I have read Matilda, and I've watched the films because I think there are a couple of them. I'm gonna say the Wormwoods
Oh.
because they gave her away to Miss Honey, and
Didn't think twice.
shitty.
And it was just because they were like, "You like to read. Go away."
Yeah.
Oh, you're intellectual and academic. Goodbye.
Yeah.
They have this incredibly gifted daughter, and instead of giving her some sort of enrichment or, or just noticing or doing anything. Yeah. They just are like, okay, well, you're too much. And by too much, we mean we haven't even tried a little bit of anything to do anything with you. And
Right.
so go with Miss Honey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm deep in Succession right now, so I do feel very strong emotions about it. But I will agree with the Wormwoods as being the worst parents. As a child, when I imagined myself as Matilda, it was when I was very angry at my parents. that I thought
True.
about that.
True.
Also, when I sat in my windowsill and sang Maybe from Annie, and I was just looking out like, where's my real family?
I used to
Can't be
sing that
mine.
a lot. I used to sing Annie a lot.
Well, this went exactly the way I hoped it would, which was no matter what, the Wormwood's winning. Good.
Yeah, we did it.
Do we feel good?
I feel good about it.
I feel good.
I feel good. I think it goes without saying that some great fictional parents include the healers
Yes, Bandit
from Bluey.
and Chili.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else come to mind?
It's funny because all I had written down was Bandit and Chili.
Yeah, Bandit and Chili are pretty high on my list.
The Weasleys.
You know who I like? The Weasleys are amazing too. I like Daniel Tiger's parents.
Oh,
Yes, Daniel Tiger.
Daniel Tiger's mom is very sweet and calm. She always calmed my
Yeah.
son down. Like my son, he was too old for Bluey because he's 13 now. But we grew up with Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, and I like those guys.
they're great and good songs that you can bring out
Yeah.
and about with you when you need them.
And Lord knows we did.
Tiana's parents from Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
They were super supportive. I mean, her father passes away early, but he instills in her his love of cooking, and her mother supports her every step of the way. The Adamses,
Yes, the Adamses.
Gomez and Morticia.
Very supportive.
I
Although
always liked them. Yeah, very
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Although on Wednesday, I feel there's some tension. I can't remember because it's been a long time. I only watched the first season. Wednesday was not happy with her parents, I guess, for sending her to the school, I guess was the problem.
Oh.
Maybe she just didn't want to be away from home, which makes sense because she's got
Yeah.
parents that she loves. But yeah, the Adamses are good people.
Yeah, they're a pretty solid unit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like them.
And of course, all
The
of
Munsters
the
were
witches
good.
listening right now are great parents.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously.
Yeah,
and you
without a doubt.
both wonderful mothers.
You too, Jack. Oh,
Yes.
I love you guys. When you were said about the Addams Family, I wasn't even thinking about the new show Wednesday. I was actually thinking about like the movies and like the original show, and then it made me think
Yeah.
of the Munsters because like somehow grew up
Oh
watching
my
the Munsters
God.
a lot, and the Munsters were actually really good parents.
The Munsters were good
The Munsters
parents.
were good parents, and like the whole premise of that show is that they are monsters, and I'm using this in quotes, monsteroids. Like she looked like the Bride of Frankenstein, sort of, and the dad was Frankenstein, and they're living amongst, and I'm using this in quotes again, regular people, and they're the normal ones. And that's what's so beautiful and amazing about the show, The Munsters.
And ahead of its time.
Very ahead of its time. Yeah, it was a civil rights show without being a blatantly civil rights show, if that makes sense. Love,
does
love,
make
love
sense,
the Munsters,
yeah.
and they were great parents.
Bring back the Munsters. We need to
Yeah.
learn
Back
of
the
that.
Munsters.
Yeah.
Oh, and Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv
Oh,
from The Fresh Prince.
They were
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were.
Tara, I'm
Yes.
sure everyone listening already knows where to find you, but can you tell
Probably
them
not.
just in case there's someone who might not know?
Absolutely. You could follow me on Modern Mom Probs on Instagram and YouTube. I have a podcast named Modern Mom Probs, a book named Modern Mom Probs, all the things like that. Follow me over there.
The biggest multi-hyphenate that ever there was.
Oh my God, stop. I love you guys so much, really. I
And a
wish I could
looker to
thank-
boot. Well, thank you for coming, Tara. Thank you all for listening. If you are, read, or watch, listen, subscribe, review, follow all the things.
Do all the things.
Do all the things. Thanks for listening to We Say What.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming.
Until next time.
You can have your opinions, but we say what?